Okay, we are in February 2018 right now. About a month ago, first week in January, I went out to Las Vegas and I took my girlfriend and I on a hot air balloon ride. It was kind of on our bucket list. I had never done it before. I surprised her with it. I thought it would be cool. And I was disappointed. And I want to share with you the things that I learned from my experience about this bucket list item. Okay, the first thing that you don't know about going on a hot air balloon is that it's loud, okay? You're standing in a little basket and the operator is in the middle or off to one side, and he pulls down this chain or lever thing that makes the flame go up to heat the air inside the balloon so that the balloon rises. Well, when he hits this thing, it's like, and it's loud. Like, I could have had earplugs and that would have been much better. They don't tell you to bring earplugs, okay? It is loud, especially if you're right underneath it. I luckily got into one of the little corner spots on the balloon, okay? Number one, it's loud. Number two, after you're on the balloon for like 10 or 15 minutes, when he hits that air thing, or when he pulls the lever to make the fire go, it's hot. I could have taken off my coat and my hat and like been fine. It gets hot. It's almost a little bit uncomfortable hot. Again, I was off in one of the corners, so it wasn't as bad for me, but everyone underneath there feels the heat. There's a little metal plate that separates you from where the igniter and flame is, but still, the thing is hot. You could fry an egg on that thing, okay? Number three. When you're in this basket thing, you're standing up in like your little compartment, like with you and whoever you went with, and like each person has got their little compartment. We shared a compartment with another couple. It's cramped. You can't sit down. You're standing up the whole time. Sometimes you're bumping their shoulder or their hip or something or their butt, whatever. But you don't have a lot of room to move around. So number four. I had this idea, like from like Lord of the Rings or just beautiful National Geographic scenery, like that we're gonna be like floating over these beautiful mountain ranges and countrysides and meadows and these beautiful landscapes. That was not the case. We were in Las Vegas. It's hot and dry there. There's like no vegetation. We go up over a highway. At one point the operator goes, okay, we're 1,000 feet up, and then we just kind of sit there, and it was rather boring. There was very little breeze, so we went up and kind of stayed in one spot and drifted maybe a total of, 1 to 3 miles in like an hour and a half. Really slow. Not eventful, really relaxed, and not the beautiful scenery, like breathtaking, like the wind's taking me over the ocean. This is so epic. There's epic music in the background. That was not happening, and it probably won't happen on your ride. It's expensive. I got a Groupon. For two people, we paid somewhere between $250 and $300. I think it was closer to $250. And the ride was supposed to last about an hour, so it's going to be pricey. Actually, at 2 points, the operator said that they accept tips. And first of all, that's tacky. I felt embarrassed for him, and I felt embarrassed myself that you'd ask for a tip. I mean, how classless is that? All right? If you do a good job, I should want to tip you. But to have to ask for them twice, talk about making your guests feel uncomfortable. When we were in the hot air balloon ride in the basket, the operator and like the two other people in the company that went in the basket with us said very little. I had to ask questions for them to volunteer any information about like, what's this rope do? How much does this basket hold? How fast are we going? What class airspace are we in? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, shouldn't you like be, engaging us in some conversation about this form of aviation? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it was awkward. We're just all kind of sitting there like looking around like, wow, okay, let's just sit in silence. Like, what are we, cattle? So not a great job at educating, teaching us, telling us how stuff worked, unless it was by my prompting. Next, when you go up, bring sunglasses if it's cloudy, because you will have sun in your face the whole time. Next, when we finished, the operator said that he gave us an hour and a half, and ooh, wow, thanks so much. The only reason why we got an hour and a half landing is because the dude couldn't land the balloon on his first 2 attempts. So, buddy, don't act like you're doing us a favor when you can't put the bird on the ground, all right? You're not fooling anyone. Finally, when we finished, they gave us a certificate saying congratulations, you did the hot air balloon line, cross it off your bucket list. Again, kind of tacky. You didn't have to do anything to do the hot air balloon ride. You just have to stand your butt in a basket. Literally, it required no effort from you. So, again, maybe for some people it's a big deal. I'm a paraglider and paramotor pilot, so I was like, really? Okay. And then at the end, we had a champagne toast with some granola bars. Dude, maybe made my heart tingle a little bit, but just corny, cheesy, just not my style. So, another thing I forgot to mention, when they took us to the site, they left us all in the car, and they filled up a helium balloon to make it go up to see what the winds higher up were doing. That's called the winds aloft. So then it's okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this. So they get out all the stuff, and they ask us if we want to help get the balloon ready. Well, I really didn't. It was sunrise or just before sunrise. But I kind of felt bad if I said no or something. So they're like, oh yeah, you guys probably want to help do this, or come on over. I was one of two guys who's in this group, and so I gotta hold the bottom of the balloon open while they are firing the gas thing to get the hot air to go in, and cool to see for about 5 or 10 seconds, but then I'd rather not sit there and hold that thing. So again, it's they make you think they're doing you a favor when really you're doing them a favor because you're helping set up the ride. So just be wary. Maybe say no if you don't want to. I'll just watch, thanks. And then maybe, when you get done, they'll even let you pack up the balloon. No thanks. You guys can do that. I'll go sit in the car. So, some people might want that experience. Oh, I got to fold the balloon, or I got to hold it open, blah, 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 because you want to help. Maybe you have small kids. But, if you're kind of over the wow factor, it's guys, just set this thing up and let's get this thing in the air. So, first, when we got to the launch site, we were excited. We were anticipating this balloon ride. This was novel to us, and watching the balloon fill up was really cool. It looked pretty on the inside. You could take pictures and walk around it. So that was fun. Number 2, once we were airborne, the operator would hit the burner and he'd hold it for a little bit, and then we would go up quicker than we normally would, and seeing ourselves gain that altitude in comparison to the ground was kind of cool. You could sense the motion, and we were floating through the sky. So once you got up higher, it was hard to sense how fast you were going or if you were going up or down, but when we were close by the ground, you could really see that, and that was cool. All right, point number 3. Once we were up in the air and the burner wasn't firing, it was really quiet and peaceful. It's very serene. It was relaxing. Just a totally cool perspective. Going along with that, point number 4, you have a lot of picture opportunities when you're floating in the sky. So get your camera ready. Number 5, it is smooth, butter smooth. You either go up in the morning or late in the evening when the air is not bumpy, so no turbulence. I could have drank a cup of coffee. My stomach was not jostled at all. All right, point number 6. The pilot was competent. I had total confidence that he knew what he was doing. I felt safe the whole time.
No question about that. Completely at ease with regard to my personal safety. Point 7, the crew was nice. When we were on the ground before we took off, they took some pictures of us when we were standing in the basket. No one was mean or hostile. Nice people. Point number 8, when we landed, they provided snacks for us. We had orange juice, water, champagne. So it was nice after an hour and a half of being in the sun, or however long we were up in the air, to have a little something to munch on. The pilot also said a little prayer that was kind of cool, and we did a little toast. So point number 9, although it was corny and maybe a little awkward, the certificate was, kind of cute. Again, maybe a little cheesy, but there was some cuteness in this little kind of insignificant little piece of paper that says that you had gone on a hot air balloon ride. And point number 10, in general, hot air balloon rides are kind of expensive. We didn't pay full retail. I think we paid about $250 for 2 people, and I think normally it's around like $175 to $200 per person. So again, nice not having to pay full cost on this.
Well, thanks for watching the video. I do not work for the balloon company. I don't work for any aviation company. I'm not a competitor of this company, nothing like that. I just wanted to share with you what my experiences were, the bad and the good, because there's some on both sides. And I hope that the information can be helpful for you as a consumer to make an educated decision about if you're going to go, who you might go with, and so that you can be safe and have a good time and have a good value in what you choose.